Foreign Office has confirmed that the UK is sending war crimes experts to help the authorities in Ukraine with investigations into atrocities allegedly carried out but denied by Russia. And I'm joined now from Kyiv by Iryna Venediktova, the Prosecutor General of Ukraine. And it's very kind of you to be with us this evening. What kind of war crimes have you identified?
Good afternoon, dear friends. Thank you very much that you are having me. Actually, if we take the Rome Statute, Article 8, about war crimes, we can find in Ukraine almost everything, unfortunately. Killing of civilians, torturing, Ukrainian language in the mind, torturing, then bombing and attacking civilian objects, sexual crimes, and others. Now we have near 9,000 cases only about war crimes.
Truly awful. And you've named Russian soldiers, haven't you, allegedly involved in human rights abuses, mainly in the town of Bucha. How have you managed to identify these men?
Actually, we have victims who are alive after torturing these 10 soldiers of Russian Federation. We started to prosecute them of their loopers, and they tortured Ukrainian civilians. And people whom they tortured, we have several victims who are alive after their torturing. That's why we have enough evidence to start prosecute them, because we have interrogation of witnesses, of victims, and other evidence which help us to be successful in the court.
So you've identified 10 Russian soldiers. Do you know where they are at the moment? Are they still fighting in Ukraine, do you believe?
Actually, yes, we start to prosecute them in absentia. That's why it's possible 3 variants where they, or they are still here on the territory of our country and still fighting, or they are now dead, or maybe they on the territory of Russian Federation. But again, we started this process, and for us it's very important. These 10 soldiers, they are first 10s in Bucha, but we identified other 5 persons. They are soldiers of Russian Federation from other districts of Kyiv region, who, one of them, we started to prosecute him in raping, others in looper.
You mentioned that you have been getting help from the victims and from those who had to witness what allegedly happened. And that must be very difficult, but the public's help is crucial, isn't it, here?
That's true. From first days of war, we have common hub for all law enforcement bodies in Ukraine and other state institutions, warcrimes.gov.ua. And now we have more than 12,000 statements from ordinary people, journalists, NGOs about such war crimes, with video, with photo fixations, with other data which we try to save. And of course, this cooperation with civil society is absolutely necessary in such cases.
12,000 statements in such a short time. That really is incredible. Now, Moscow, of course, denies any human rights abuses, and Russian state TV has even suggested that footage of dead civilians in Bucha was staged by the Ukrainian authorities. What do you say to those sort of accusations by Moscow?
It's ordinary Moscow propaganda. I think that their citizens maybe still think that here is not war, but special operation. And of course, I was interested about their psychology of Russian citizens. It's very strange. They are so uneducated and don't understand the narratives of all this political propaganda from Kremlin. All these speeches about denazifications, about fakes, about other very strange things which we hear in 21st century. It is propaganda from maybe 12th century, 13th century, but not in modern time. That's why, of course, we will hear from Russian Federation some strange things. But yesterday, whole world saw then we had here in Kyiv 5 missiles. When here were very honored persons, the head of United Nations and the Prime Minister of the state. It's very strange. Don't you mind?
And you're very grateful, presumably, for the international help. We know the British are now going to Poland to help with the forensics behind trying to identify not only the victims but also the perpetrators of these alleged abuses as well. Iryna Venediktova, Prosecutor General of Ukraine, we really appreciate your time this evening. Thank you very much for speaking to us on Sky News.